Good evening, everyone. I'm Daniel Price, and welcome to GameCenter 40 for Friday. May 29th, 2020. And here are tonight's top stories. Japanese law enforcement have finally been able to arrest the Kyoto animation arsonist Shinji Aoba, who was responsible for the murders of 36 people. The issues that got in the way of the formal arrest warrant were Aoba's medical condition, Japanese law, and the COVID-19 pandemic. Aoba had been detained on scene and transported to the hospital. After regaining the ability to speak in physical therapy, he was finally brought to a detention center. The burned building's remains have been cleaned, but what the space will become is still being decided by the community. I just realized we got the 10 p.m. script out. Someone bring up the 6 p.m. script. Well, there we go. Alright, let's continue. Famitsu journalist and columnist Zenji Nishikawa revealed in a live stream that next week's Famitsu magazine will have a major scoop related to Sega that could take the gaming industry by storm. It'll be found in his own column in the magazine, and considering the nature of the column, it may not even be that big of an announcement except for die-hard fans of Sega itself. With his first major outing success here in the United States, Sonic the Hedgehog will be coming back for a second bite at the Hollywood apple. The core staff of the first movie will be retained by Paramount, however, no details have been revealed or even discussed. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie had gotten some historic news, including the status of the highest grossing video game movie domestically. Jeff Fowler will be returning as the director. Pat Casey and Josh Miller are also returning as the writers. The project is currently in an early development stage and will likely not hear production anymore until 2021. Another piece of Sonic that's in early development is the next Sonic game, which is now switching to a long-term production model for quality reasons. So, while there are no teases at the moment, the Hedgehog seems to be doing just fine. And when we come back on GameCenter 40, Sony's got a little bit of a surprise for all of its viewers, developers, and consumers. When GameCenter 40 returns for Smyrna, North Cape May, Lewis, Swainton, Georgetown, Linwood, and all of South Jersey and Delmarva. Sony's developers have been told that PS4 games development after July 13th must be forwards compatible with an upcoming PlayStation 5. Sony's internal partner website, according to Eurogamer, has an extra step that needs to be checked, which says the game has been tested for compatibility. Sony has recommended that all games patched before July 13th would need to allow the game to be PS5 compatible. Any patch submitted after that would need to allow becoming must allow. The last PS4 exclusives, the critically panned The Last of Us 2 and the acclaimed Ghost of Tsushima, will be supported on the PlayStation 5, but that's not the last we've heard of the PS5 as far as the news goes today. Sony themselves have announced to their consumers that there will be a PlayStation 5 conference on June 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern. It will go on for 60 minutes and is claimed to be the first in a series of updates on the PlayStation blog. Jim Ryan of PlayStation has said that games coming to PS5 represent the best in the industry from innovative studios that span the globe. Studios, both larger and smaller, those newer and those more established, all have been hard at work developing games that will showcase the potential of the hardware. Southern Case Sports newspaper has reported that Toei's Kamen Rider Zero One will restart filming on June 1st with some new guidelines in place to minimize contact. The film crews will maintain strict social distancing guidelines while filming. They will also avoid large adjacent groups and must maintain 2 meters of distance from each other. Meetings will be conducted by the internet as much as possible. Scenes involving 20 or more actors are not allowed to be shot, and support staff for wire action will be limited to 2 people per actor. Hopefully this will be the first in a series of steps to get show production back on track after the pandemic. And when we come back on GameCenter 40, we'll have weather for all around the country, as well as locally here in Dover. Well, I think it's about time we took a look out at Rehoboth Beach. I mean, it's been a pretty hot day today. And, well, well, let's take a look out there, shall we? I mean, it looks kind of muggy out there right now. But boy, oh boy, if we had a very hot day today. The high today was 82 degrees, and currently in the city of Dover, it's 81 degrees. That's just one shy of the high. And here in the suburbs, it's 82 degrees, with the low being 68, but we'll save that for later tonight. The barometer is 29.91 inches and falling, and the humidity is at 72%. The winds are going south-southwest at 12 miles an hour. Visibility for Dover is 10 miles, and the wave heights of the Chesapeake Bay is 2 feet and 3 feet up on the Delaware Bay. And if there's anything that people are going to want to do with their vacation, it's try not to get hot, and always try to get wet. Well, here are your high and low tides. High 34 to 320, high and low. Sunrise at 5:38, sunset at 8:21 p.m. Well, as long as we're taking a look at the Dover weather, we cannot take a look at the national weather because we could not get to it in time. But anyways, let's take a look at what we have in store for us tonight. Tonight in Dover will be scattered thunderstorms, the low is 68. And boy, are those thunderclouds, they're not going to be letting up. We're going to be getting some thunderstorms, but it'll clear the way to be mostly sunny for tomorrow, high 82, and low 57 in the suburbs. Now let's take one final look out into the beach before we get to our 5-day forecast. It is looking a bit clear, if I do say so myself. Anyways, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow it'll be mostly sunny, 82 degrees. On Sunday it'll be completely sunny, 72 degrees, so that cold front will be coming through. On Monday, the 1st of June, it'll be mostly sunny at 70 degrees. Tuesday, 72 degrees, mostly cloudy. And Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be partly cloudy at various temperatures above 80 degrees. 83, 83, and 80. It's almost as if something wants us to be heated up before June, or possibly even after it arrives. And when we come back, one prominent voice actor is taking a post-surgery hiatus, and it's Dai's Great Adventure coming back into the populace. Stay with us. Animation voice actor Nobuhiko Okamoto has announced that he will go on a 1-month hiatus beginning on June 1st due to his throat treatment and subsequent surgery. The embattled star explains that he had a recent medical examination that revealed scarring on his vocal cords. Profit, the talent agency he worked for, adds that he continued work while receiving treatment for his condition. The doctor has determined that surgery was now necessary. The plans became last minute due to the pandemic, with apologies for the sudden announcement. He will focus on recovering so the characters he voices can sing to the best of its ability. Japan's Magazine Publishers Association has stated that print circulation of Shueisha's weekly Shonen Jump has now dipped below 1.6 million readers. Shueisha released a statement earlier in the month that Shonen Jump staff are seeing more delays for ongoing manga, and they are also delaying May's compiled volumes due to the current pandemic. The Dragon Quest Day special in which Dai's Great Adventure was featured had a lot of news to cover, and the sub-series will be getting a new manga in V-Jump magazine and will center on Avana's adventures before meeting Dai and his friends. It will be written by Yusaka Shibata, who has recently ended his Zip Man series. The original manga will also be getting a new edition that will ship over 10 months with 25 volumes featuring new cover art and including the original serialization's color pages. It is also updating fans on its latest anime adaptation, which will premiere on the TXN network in October. WTXN will not air the series as it premieres. The voice cast has been announced, as well as the staff. Kazuya Karasawa will be starting as the director, Katsuhiko Chiba as the script supervisor, and Miko Miyamoto is the character designer, Yuki Hayashi is the composer, and Ayaka Fuji is the art director. The voice recording is yet to start, and it is being produced by Toei Animation with a hybrid of CG and 2D animation. Games and cards are expected to follow soon after. And that'll wrap it up for GameCenter 40 here at 6 p.m. We'll be back for GameCenter 40 Nights at 10, because next is our gameplay segment. We'll all have a lot of food. Have a great night.